Nicholas Renzi nodded to the man sharing with him the warmth of the log fire at the Angel posting house and regarding his deep tan with suspicion. It was not an attribute often seen in England after a hard winter. Renzi was newly returned from tumultuous experiences on the other side of the world that had left him questioning his reason. He'd sailed to New South Wales as a free settler, determined to forge a new life there, but it was not to be. And now, in just a little while, he would see Cecilia. The ship that had brought him home had docked 3 days ago, and, having signed off on the voyage, he and Thomas Kydd had made for Guildford. It had been cowardly of him, Renzi acknowledged, to have asked his friend to arrive first to prepare his sister for their sudden reappearance. Cecilia had nursed him through a deadly fever and touched his heart, but such was his respect for her that he'd vowed to achieve something in the world before he made his feelings known to her, and had left without a word. He'd laboured long and hard to try to create an Arcadia of his small landholding for Cecilia in that raw land. Eventually, Kydd had rescued him. He'd suggested that Renzi make use of his education by devoting himself to the elucidation of natural philosophy from a new standpoint. Where Rousseau and his peers had pontificated from the comforts of rarefied academia, Renzi's studies would be rooted in the harsh reality of the wider world, which he'd encountered at first hand in places as varied as the Caribbean and the vast South Seas, the sylvan quiet of Wiltshire, and the alien starkness of Terra Australis. He would distill his observations and experiences into a series of volumes on the extraordinary variety of human response to the imperatives of hunger and aggression, religion and security, all the threats and challenges that were the lot of man on earth. That would be an achievement indeed to lay before Cecilia, and, it must be confessed, it was a prospect most congenial to himself. This he would owe to Kydd, who had said he would employ his friend as secretary aboard whichever ship Kydd might captain. For Renzi, performing this role, more of a clerk than anything, was a small price to pay for the freedom it bestowed on him. He'd learned the tricks in Spanish Town long ago, and knew that his duties would not be onerous. He never set store by the petty vanities of rank, and was glad to withdraw discreetly from the hurly-burly of tasking and discipline to be found on deck. Above all, he and Kydd, old friends, would continue to adventure together.